We look, though, at edition number 1. Mark, if you're a football fan, you are nothing but smiles right now.
Everyone wondered what the CFP would look like. And I look at that bracket, I look at the first-round matchups, and it's legendary to me. It's like our own little mini March Madness, but in college football. I mean, look at the matchups you have. You have Bama going to Texas. This was 2 of the 4 teams that were in the CFP last year. You have your Irish going to Happy Valley to play Penn State.
Oh,
Ashton Jenney going to see. Everyone wants to know what he'll do in a Power 4 game. Going to play your Buckeyes. You know what I mean? Then you got Indiana, the Mr. Google Me's, going to Tennessee. So this is must-see TV for the college football playoff, man, and I'm super excited for it.
There's no doubt for college football fans, this has been a long time coming. And with the first rankings, look, there's a lot of football left to be played, but what we get from the College Football Playoff Committee are some hints as far as how they see this whole thing working out. What stands out to me is the Big Ten. I mean, right now they have 4 of the top 8 teams, the top 2 in particular. And as you kind of comb through, okay, why is Ohio State, Oregon ahead of teams like Georgia, teams like Tennessee, for example? When you look at the resumes, it's interesting because Georgia and Tennessee both have more top 25 wins. Right. The reality is right now, this College Football Playoff Committee is looking at the losses, who you lost to. Georgia struggled, obviously, losing to Texas by 15. Tennessee laid an egg on the road going to Arkansas. So when you factor in, make those considerations, right now they're looking at who those losses have come to and the game flow and how tight some of those games are. So that's kind of stood out so far to me, but a lot of iterations left.
And I think the opposite view of that is the brand bias. A team like BYU, who's undefeated, by the way, has 2 top 25 wins, yet the 3-1 lost teams in front of them. Texas and Penn State really haven't beaten anybody yet. Those losses are being held higher. So why is that important? You look at BYU or Boise State, talking about Ashton Jenney. There's only a 3-spot gap there. Now, if BYU fumbles but wins the Big 12, there's a chance Boise State could jump them and get that coveted 4 spot. So that's important to keep an eye on. And then just Indiana. That's an eye test. They're undefeated. They have the best point differential in college football, yet they're still behind all those 1-loss teams I mentioned.
Yeah, guys, I want to do a quick little history lesson. Just 25 years ago, the actual national championship wasn't even decided on the field most of the time. Right. It was the poll era. Then you went to the BCS era. We were all coached, and you guys played in that. That was only 2 teams. And not many teams. You lose 1, maybe 2, you're out. Then 2014, college football playoff, 4 teams. Now, 20. The best thing, 25 teams, fan bases, woke up this week with a hope and a dream to lift that beautiful gold trophy and make the playoffs. And by the way, 2 teams are right here today, Colorado and Texas Tech.
And it's fair to say this could be an elimination game for whoever loses as far as their track. But the reality is, too, you could get a 3-loss team that makes the college football playoff when it's all said and done.
By the way, I think that's the first time Coach played to the crowd when he wasn't in Columbus. Well done, Coach.
First time
You're starting to pick this thing up, baby.
He's not getting booed, so he's
He's going to put the guns up. He's the whole thing.
There you go, Coach.
Look out.
There you go.
How's that?
Let's go.
I'm going a little
I'm
bit.
beaming with pride right now, man. So great. All right, for more on this, let's welcome in the Bear, Chris Felica. And Bear, we're going to stay right here in the Big 12 where one program will definitely have their say on how this all goes down.
Yeah, I think before the year, most people thought Kansas was going to have a say into who won the Big 12, thinking that they were going to be in the race. But the Jayhawks clearly have lost a lot of close games, and they are not going to win the Big 12. But they are going to have a massive say into who does win the Big 12. Today they have Iowa State. Next week they have BYU. The week after that it's Colorado. All 3 of those teams have sights of the Big 12 title in the college football playoff berth. And if you look a little bit further down the road, if they happen to beat a BYU or BYU were to lose in the Big 12 championship game, you've got Boise State right now just 3 spots behind BYU. They're 5 spots ahead of Iowa State. They're 8 spots ahead of Colorado. If a BYU team loses and is not undefeated in the Big 12, I think there's a really good chance we could be looking at Boise State as the 4th seed in the playoff.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoy that clip, make sure you click subscribe somewhere down here. From game highlights to exclusive interviews and rankings, we've got everything you need as a college football fan right here, College Football on Fox.